Radical.
I've been on YouTube for quite a while, and I've been through several different phases on YouTube. As with anything, whether it's YouTube or life, you go through lots of different phases. And then you go through that, and hopefully you learn from the phases and you grow as an individual. I believe I would say the days of me, I would say, even if it's just entertaining or critical satire, or yelling or playing funny characters, they might be coming to an end because I'm kind of growing out of all that. Unless a period comes up outside of YouTube and I'm on a much bigger stage, or I'm being paid a good bit of money to entertain, or if I'm selling out stadiums somewhere as a comedian, then I would say on YouTube, it's just not worth me going all out or even hyping myself up, even if it's subconscious, to get angry about things like eBay. I don't really get angry about that anymore. I don't. And maybe you could say I should, because there's a lot of it going on YouTube, but there's a lot of things going on in real life that I don't really get angry about, because I have a laser focus on certain things in my life, and that is building my future. So I really can't help getting distracted from my focus on certain things like building my flea market business. You might say, well, that sounds kind of funny. A flea market? You're building a business at a flea market? Yeah, it's a challenge. Building a games media business in a 12 by 12 flea market spot? It's a challenge, but I feel like I'm up to that challenge. If I'm not, so be it. I'm building a business there. Whether you're building YouTube uploads, crafting YouTube uploads, whether you're entertaining millions of people on a stage, whether you're a singer, comedian, whether you're building a business from scratch yourself, you're building something. And the ultimate goal of building is getting some greenbacks. Not in all cases. Sometimes you want notoriety. Sometimes you want views. Sometimes you want to have a legacy. Sometimes you want to be remembered when you pass away. Sometimes you want to build for the future, and maybe your offspring can take over for you. Honestly, I ultimately know that I want to build for myself, for my future, but I don't know entirely if it's just money I want. I think a lot of it is for me, but you can tell I'm very conflicted, and I don't know ultimately where I'm going to end up other than the ground. That's what I do know. But we make choices. And I chose years ago to start following something called e-begging on YouTube, following certain people. Some people might say it started with Metal Jesus. Some people might say it started with Review Tech USA. All that ultimately was not really my choice. Rather, I was directed, I was asked with this voice to speak on those people from my audience. Even somebody stopped by recently, I think Skeletor, and said they missed when he used to talk about Metal Jesus. Those are pretty entertaining. I'm not going to say they're not. But to me, currently, those people, they're kind of beneath me as a commentator to speak on. There's nothing interesting about those people. I recently talked about Russell Brand, who situation was interesting. Is actually an interesting person. Love him or hate him, it's an interesting person. So nowadays, I mostly speak on things that interest me personally. Topics, sports, anime, wrestling, things that interest me personally. I don't really give a flying fuck if it interests anyone else. I don't care. YouTube mostly, I no longer consider myself a YouTuber. I took that out of the name. I used to be YouTuber Radical Rick. I don't care. I'm using 1 to 5% of my overall abilities, passion, what have you, on this platform, because I kind of matured past it. It's no longer really for me. Most of it, anyways. I'm not going to talk about how the platform is degraded into something that it no longer represents, how sad it is right now, even though I might speak on that in the future. It's a sad state of affairs on YouTube, it really is. Now, getting all that out of the way, you might say, what does that have to do with what we see in the background here? It's a $300 donation down there by SA, is it? Shemsa. Okay, Shemsa. I'll know who Shems is. It's a random person that stopped by the live stream, Streamlabs of Extra Slope. I didn't know that there was a extra YouTube page connected to it. I'm really honestly ignorant when it comes to these streaming platforms. I don't stream. I just upload to YouTube. But Streamlabs.com. Now there's a donation after that from Pat Sharp of $1. The one before, Shamsa, was $3.75. It's really interesting, right? $3.75. Like they couldn't donate 3 or 4. It was $3.75. So they found a value in the Slopes person of $3.75. I think it's kind of funny. I mean, like, what were they looking for quarters under the couch cushion? They just had $3.75 to donate to this person. Now, you all know how I feel about donating to things like YouTubers. Outside of rare instances where it might be a musician and they're creating the highest quality music or something like that, or something maybe like a person that finds a cure for a disease and they continue to find cures for diseases, or somebody that's exposing giant corporations. There's arguments to be made, and some of you have made arguments that certain people deserve donations more than others. But then you'll say to me in the same breath, well, that person over there, they're an e-beggar because they take donations. There's a large discussion to be had around e-begging. It is. And it still continues with or without me on the platform. But I would say for a moment in time, several years even, I was ground zero for the discussion around e-begging in the retro game community, specifically in gaming. And that took a lot of my resources away. I can almost guarantee you if I started talking about that kind of stuff again, it would take a lot more of my resources away from building several different things I want to build out outside of YouTube. Again, I'm getting away from this, aren't I? I'm not going to yell about this because it doesn't really surprise me at this point. It's a $300 donation to somebody that uploads things on YouTube, uploads about gaming, quality uploads, I will say. I love me some Slopes uploads, just like I like GameSack uploads. Quality creators, a lot of them on the platform, there is, and this is a quality creator. We talk. We've talked in the comment sections. But, man, I got a problem with this. I do. A donation of that amount, I have a problem with that. Now, the $3.75 and the $1, I don't have much of a problem with that. I mean, yeah, it's, you e-begging a little bit. Yeah, but it's not a high level of it. It's $300, though. Like, if that happened to me and I was streaming and I got a $300 donation, which would never happen, by the way, I would shut off the fucking stream. I would shut it off. I don't know. Maybe it's because this is kind of just what's accepted right now in 2023. And I don't even really blame Slopey. I don't. Because there's such a adoption of it right now. And it's so difficult to even call it out in the slightest terms by anybody. In fact, I guarantee you, if I title this Slopes Gamer with Z-Bacon, I guarantee you, tons of people will come here and they'll tell me that he's not. He's a valued content creator on the platform. The Amico Kickstarter video that he uploaded, Kick Scammers, was worth donations of $300. Tons of people will. And to them I say, you can't be more wrong. You can't be more wrong. Give an example of what $300 is. $300 is what I would be considering charging for a Darth Vader limited PlayStation 4 with 2 controllers, a flat screen TV, and Star Wars Battlefront. And even then, I might think, might be a little too high. It's a 500 gigabyte console, might be a little bit too high. But this is just wrong. It's wrong to take a donation and accept a donation of that size, because these things come in scales, man. $1, $2, that's a tip. $300, that's like a payment on something a month. That's, even now with inflation, that's still a good bit of money. It is. When it comes to Streamlabs.com, is there a way, and some of you might not know, maybe you might know, Slopey, is there a way you can limit donations? Or is it just you enable donations, people can donate whatever? Because maybe there's no way. And I wonder, to this person who, again, I've talked to, hell, Ivan might be subscribed to, I believe. And I think they're subscribed to me also. To this person who I feel is an excellent content creator on the platform. To a person who I think also feels that way similarly to me, regardless of the disagreements we've had on certain things like this. My question to you is there a way for you to limit those donations to a certain amount? So if people are going to donate through your stream, is there a way you can limit their donations to a certain amount in a day? Because I don't know. And maybe you weren't expecting that $300 donation. So then what do you do? What do you do to limit that? Because I would really hope that you don't want that and come to expect that kind of a donation for uploading quality uploads on YouTube. I hope, beyond hope, that you would agree with me that someone donating $300 to you is way too much for what you do. The equivalent would be maybe if someone comes by my area at the flea market and they tell me, you know what, I really appreciate how you've entertained me and my family. Whenever we come here, you're really friendly. You put smiles on my little ones' faces. You let them play in your arcade for free. Everything you do here in the flea market community, we really appreciate it. Rain, sleet, snow, shine, you're here every day at 9 a.m. Every day. We appreciate that. Dog tired some days, sick some days, but you show up, and this is not even your 9 to 5 weekly job. Here's $300 for you, Rick. We appreciate you. Ain't no way in hell I'm taking $300 unless I sell them a game console.